Hi, my name is Dario Ogaz, and I'm currently a fourth year student, so I will be graduating here in June. I'm here to tell you a little about my identity page and kind of give an introduction to my cultural identities and identities that I find to be impactful in my life. So I started off with this with a lot of pictures of, I guess, references to my formative years, a lot of pictures of my family. So here is my immediate family, my sister, my two parents, and my brother. My sister's a year and a half younger than I am, and my brother's 2.5 years older. So we're pretty close in age and pretty close just in general in terms of our relationship and our intimacy and things like that. I was born and raised in Denver. I love it. I'm going to miss it when I leave here in a few months. But I really enjoy Denver, the people. A lot of it has really shaped my identity and kind of given me an appreciation for nature and the outdoors, but also uh, an appreciation for cities, living and being around a lot of people with a lot of diverse ideas and backgrounds. And so I like having access to both, even though Denver isn't the biggest of cities, but I still find that there's a lot of culture and a lot of interesting people to talk to. So I guess in terms of just talking about my family, I'm really close with my immediate family, more so than my larger extended family. Like I said, my siblings and I are all really close. We've gone through a lot together, so I think it really just has been, I guess, a couple of relationships that I've really grown throughout my life, I guess. And it's interesting. It's my siblings and I all live in Denver currently, so not only do I have the foundation of them being in my life, but I've also kind of seen firsthand how those relationships continue to change and develop over years. So we're all, I guess, adults now in college or graduating college or graduated college. So we're all very different, but we also have very similar, I guess, backgrounds and ways of looking at the world, which I really appreciate. My parents and I are also really close. This is them from a long time ago. It's just a picture that I like of them. But they worked really hard for me and my siblings, and so as a family unit, we are pretty close. And I think that says a lot about my cultural identity, just in terms of how my family has really shaped my experiences and really given me, I guess, a foundation of and taught me a lot about what I value and given me a lot of support. And so, yeah, that's why they're pretty prominent in the beginning portion of this. Here are my grandparents. I thought that was also a cute picture. They're also probably they're probably the people that I'm closest to after my immediate family. They're some of the best people I know. They're really loving and giving a lot and have made a lot of sacrifices for my family. So I just wanted to incorporate them into this because they definitely have shaped my identity. Um, I put another picture of just me and my siblings. My brother actually attended DU and kind of was a big inspiration in my life and kind of um, opened my eyes to a lot of new ideas. And he's one of the most intelligent people I know, so he's definitely somebody that's shaped my identity. My sister is another person that's in my life pretty prominently. She's one of the kindest people I know and really fun and teaches me not to take life too seriously sometimes, which I think is really important. You also see a lot of pictures of my dog. I'm definitely an animal person. Definitely respect, I think, our relationships with our, I guess, lifelong companions, just other people sharing this world with us. So that's Blaze. He's a German Shepherd who's a few years old. So he's also somebody in my life that's important and kind of reflective of, I guess, my views on nature and the world. So now I'm gonna kind of shift into my current, I guess, influences in my identity. Going to DU, I've met a lot of different people and have had a lot of different experiences, and I think it's important to recognize how your relationships with friends are really impactful in your life. Just because the cliche saying always comes to mind when I think about friends, but the friends are the family we choose for ourselves saying is something that kind of always pops up, but I think it's true just because you're able to create bonds and to communicate with people and form relationships with people that have similar ideas to you or complementary ideas to you, or you just like the way they are, so you're able to kind of share in experiences with them and I guess recognize how important they are in your life. I think friends and the relationships you build with them are really impactful in shaping of a cultural identity just because you kind of learn who you are as a person and things that you value by interacting with other people. And so some of the best conversations I've had about my own beliefs or beliefs that other people hold are conversations that I've had with my best friends. And so I think it's important to recognize those relationships and to kind of realize how impactful those are in your life. There's just a few more pictures of things that I guess kind of express how I feel. Some a little bit more, I guess, trivial or more not as serious as others. I'm a big fan of coffee. I work at a coffee shop, and so it's something that's in my life almost every day. I also find myself to be very vocal and very dedicated to, I guess, social justice and inclusion. And so at times I can be very vocal and very, I don't know, I just find it to be a fascinating subject of just how our society is created and the relationships that we have with each other, just how history impacts that, how just different ideas of privilege and oppression are apparent in our everyday lives, and they affect us all in a very real way. And so here's, I guess, just a few, uh, I guess, images that kind of, I guess, give more insight into how I identify as a person, but also the things that I value and the things that I spend my time thinking about and talking about. Um, I'm really interested in issues surrounding gender and sexual orientation and race, just because those are identities that are very prominent in my own life and very impactful in how I view the world and how the world views me. And so, I guess race is something that I can talk about first a little bit. I identify as Latino, and so that comes with a lot of historical implications and a lot of modern things that are, I guess, really really important in terms of current race relations in our society and how this is something that we're still addressing. This is a picture and a quote by Cesar Chavez, who's one of the most inspirational people, I think, for me. I've learned a lot about his life and his work, and for Mexican Americans, but minorities in all respects, just in terms of his view on equality and the education of people and rights for those who have been marginalized. So he's definitely somebody that I feel kind of reflects not only my racial identity, but kind of my views in society. I also identify strongly in terms of gender, and I identify as male, but I also find myself I find myself to be a strong feminist. I definitely believe in equality of gender and how realizing how that's definitely a huge subject to talk about, but I thought this was kind of a lighthearted way of showing what I feel and how I guess, support other people. And there's a couple other more that you can look at if you want. I also find my sexual orientation is a big part of my life and definitely something that's shaped my identity, especially currently as I've come to understand it more and had more opportunities to explore it. I identify as gay, and so it's something that I think about a lot, and I find myself having conversations a lot. And it's something that I think I'm I'm learning about more about every day, and so I just like to point out or I just point out to myself, I guess, how it's affecting me, and just how my conceptualization of my sexual orientation is continuing to develop. And I guess at the end, here's a couple more just lighthearted pictures with friends, um, pictures from when I studied abroad this past summer, and just continue to open my my eyes to different parts of the world and different worldviews and different cultures. Um, let's see, what else can I point out here? Um, I definitely have been trying to find a way to talk about my religious identity because I noticed it's something that people have talked a lot about, and it's just something that's I don't know, it's something that's being talked about a lot in just terms of discourse in society right now. It's kind of you can kind of really can't really see it in my images, but I grew up in a Catholic family, and my parents still are practicing Catholics, and it's still a big part of their lives. But as I've grown up and I've learned more about myself and the world around me, it's not something that I really identify with anymore. And so, even though it was kind of a big part of my formative years and kind of the foundation for a lot of ideas that I had growing up, it's not something that I find particular affinity with now. A way that I kind of have expressed my outview towards the world and my way of, I guess, navigating relationships is just kind of respect for people and respect for the nature around me. I think that's something that we kind of often overlook. And I think for me, in terms of finding meaning, a lot of it is just by looking at other people and realizing the good in other people. And so I definitely like to respect the world around me and appreciate it and realize that I am only one person on this big world and a very unique person, but there's also many people out there who are living and learning. And so I guess my general view about relation with other people or morals or ethics or values is just by respecting other people and I don't know, fighting for people who need it and who need a voice. And so it's just important to me to kind of recognize the humanity of all people just because we all are humans. And yeah, I don't know really where I was going with that, but just my continual learning about spirituality or lack thereof, or religion or lack thereof, or whatever. But yeah, so this is kind of an overview of me. I realize there's still a lot to talk about, but I feel like I've shared a lot, and so I hope you enjoy learning about me. You can definitely let me know if you have any questions, want to learn more about what I believe in or how I identify. But thanks for watching, and I look forward to looking at all of your videos soon.